All right, I'm recording.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Uh,
Fair warning,
hello,
fair warning. I haven't recorded with this setup yet, so it may be trash, but it looks all
but
right.
it, but it's Friday and it is April 10th. All the lovely people in the world are here. This is the mentoring Contribex subproject. My name is Marky. Welcome. I will say that the this is governed by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which amounts to just be awesome. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. I am. I can't even share my screen. So it must be all the new security settings. Well, welcome everybody. How is everybody today?
I'm doing great.
It is awesome.
Superb.
We, I have put the notes in the meeting Zoom chat. So if you could just add your name to the attendees list. While everybody is doing that, I am going to just set up my screen so I can see everybody while reading off the notes. And I think I have it all set up. I think I'm flailing just perfectly enough. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. On the first item up uh, up for bids, if we want to do the prices right. Community Bridge, which is Ihor. Ihor is not here. I did ping, and there are no updates. Oh, he did put updates in here. Okay, oh, that's awesome. Ihor sends his apologies. Community Bridge Q1 2020 round is finished. CNCF is publishing the final blog pass. I'm getting I need permissions to access the doc. You should not need permissions, Raymond, if you're part of the uh, if you're part of the SIG and you think you have to just be part of the group mailing list, I believe.
That should be correct. All you have to do is join the SIG Contribex mailing list, Google
Oh, I
group,
see.
whatever. And then
Okay,
once you
I'll
join
join that
that,
then.
yeah, that's how a lot of the permissions are managed.
Oh, thank you, Allison. She just posted a link in how to join. You just click on that. It'll link to your Gmail account. And once you do that, you're good. Back to the community bridge. The final round, CNCF is publishing a blog. Kubernetes has two mentees and both passed successfully. Community bridge Q2 round is about to start. More details shortly. The draft timeline is in the meeting notes. That takes care of that. I will move on to meet our contributors. That is Paris. I believe, if I recall correctly, they have the people for the next meet our contributors. That is in the Meet Our Contributors Slack channel. Nothing else for that. Then we will go to Outreachy, which is Paris, and there are no updates for Outreachy. Google Summer of Code, Paris, there are no updates for that. I know just from knowing what the timeline is, the April 27th, the application for proposals, student proposals, has closed. And now they have until May 14th, I believe May 14th or 17th. I'd have to double check on that. And that's where mentors and org administrators will be going over student proposals and selecting final students, as well as requesting slots from Google. Hippie, thank you for taking notes. I completely forgot about that. Moving on to the 1-on-1 hour, which is Paris. There's no updates from Paris, but I do have an update. I am actually working on the automation for that update. I have drafted up a sequence diagram, which is the best way I could see how that automation would work. I will be working with I'm going to choose a SIG, which I believe will probably be the release SIG, to see if we can implement the sort of alpha version of this. That is it for one-on-one group mentoring. Let's see. I don't see Josh here. Paris is not here. So we'll punt on that. New contributor workshop. Jeff is here. I will turn it over to you. You're muted.
Hello. Thank you.
There you go.
New Contributor Workshop is currently something that's managed by the events team and is run at every one of the contributor summits. And realistically, that doesn't make much sense. And when the New Contributor Workshop was originally created, the goal was for it to actually be a mentoring subproject and it to be offered throughout the year, not just at contributor summits. So, hello, I am here to talk about moving the New Contributor Workshop under mentoring. Um, Currently, I have talked with Contribex leads and mentoring subproject owners, and everyone is on board as long as we have owners that are not just the mentoring owners. And literally today, 10 minutes before this meeting, I got the final act from the last owner that I pinged. There should be a PR moving everything from the New Contributor Workshop under the mentoring subproject. Really, this is a bunch of administrivia, but it still is worth mentioning, and you will now start getting New Contributor Workshop updates here and not in the Contributor Summit.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I will look for that PR once it comes out.
Yeah,
As
it's either going to be today or Monday. Honestly, it's going to be Monday because Bob's going to come over and we're going to work in my garage for a bit. But
nice.
from 6 feet away.
Thank you. Thank you. And no poking each other with brooms. I saw that going back and forth. All righty, moving along, we do have the open forum. Before we get to the open forum, I would like to say I do see a few new faces here. And if you're new and you'd like to introduce yourself, please do. I'd love to get to know everybody.
Are you okay?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, go for it.
Do you want me to introduce
Yeah, go for
myself?
it.
Yeah, my name's Brock. I'm staying here with Hippie Hacker, and I thought I'd come and see what this is all about. I'm not really sure yet, but here I am. So, yeah.
Well, welcome. Most of us are not sure either, but that is quite all right. Welcome, welcome.
I've
Go ahead.
technically never been on this call, but I'm kind of all over the place. My name's Jeff Giffey. For the context of this, I'm the EU Contributor Summit lead, and so that's why I'm trying to shuttle the NCW stuff over. And Allison is the current NCW lead for the EU Summit, which now the NCW stuff isn't happening, so she's going to be one of the owners helping out with New Contributor Workshop.
Very beautiful people. Very beautiful people.
Thank you. Both of you.
I do see. Go ahead, Allison. I'm sorry.
I've never been on this call before. So yeah, what Jeff said before, I was a new contributor workshop lead for the EU, and yeah, you might have seen me around Contribex, around Kubernetes doing stuff. Yeah, I'm Allison.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I do see Paris has joined. Hello, Paris.
Hello, Kubernetes Zoom is here. I can't seem to change my display name though.
That's okay. We couldn't get the recordings to work, so Jeff
Okay.
is using OVS to do the recording.
Okay, you want me to get the Zoom? And
we're already all the way through it, so we
Okay.
could do his and then upload.
There are two Kubernetes Zooms as well. What was weird was Marky logged in as Kubernetes Zoom, could not record, could not claim host.
oh, because it has to be under the contributor experience one.
That's the one I did.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to derail you. Sorry,
Zoom.
I do see we have somebody topped the humax.org in our open issues. Who dropped that in there?
I did that.
You want to talk about it?
I'd love to. If you go to humax.org, it's an empty, or it was an empty organization on GitHub not long ago. And I've been reaching out and pairing one-on-one with different members of our community to try to create a storytelling platform for us to collaboratively help us do the things we do together. I'm gonna go there myself right now so that I'm following along at home. It was really cool on the Getting Started repo to see that we had a repo created, because I invited Guinevere from GitHub to create the repo of Getting Started, and we wrote a little file that actually renders quite well on GitHub, an org file, and it has little code blocks. And she's on a Mac, and I've actually ordered a Mac for myself so that I can do things in a Mackie way. I also have a Windowsy thing, and I'm quite the Linux nerd. So what was really fun in going through this process is that when you're done, it allows us to have these storytelling files that can open up either iTerm on Mac, which is super cool because it has, it's like if you're kubectl into a cluster and you run a command to copy stuff, it comes back in over your terminal and populates your OS clipboard, whether that's on Windows, Mac, or Linux. Only certain terminals do that. We have a few different videos that we're trying to do. I think one of the things I was also pairing with Malian to do our OBS config so that we can have, starting in these storytelling pairing sessions, resulting in a video. So we have a culture of taking our one-on-one sessions and making them available for others. I'd be interested in pairing with anybody who wants to see some of that more one-on-one and maybe help refine the way that we share our eyes together, because that's what II is all about. All of us doing our thing near each other and making the world a better place.
That is amazing. I will check that out and reach out to you because I'm very interested in that.
We did some really fun stuff with OBS on using a virtual camera for some software, both on Linux, and I think it's available. There's certain open source things on all of them, but being able to also route all your video and audio during a Zoom call and then mix it through OBS and send it to YouTube in real time. We did a practice session of that, and that was pretty cool. And also binding in like the flow of how you run a meeting inside of the storytelling files so that they turn. I'll show you another one that I'll pull it up real quick. If you go to github.com, CNCF API Snoop, it's the project that the CNCF funds us to work on. Under org, we have a roadmap.org markdown HTML and text. This is one of those storytelling files that gives our OKRs, which are a way of expressing your, I'll drop this link into chat since we can't share screens today. I want to click on, there's chat, it's over here. Thank you, Pierre. This is the specific link. And it actually is some tracking of all of our tasks and whatnot, which is fun, but it's also cool that it turns into other files. And it may be a little interesting, but if you'll take this HTML file and download it, because it's not published anywhere, it's also the presentation of that same file. And then we also have the markdown file, which is what everybody's a little bit more familiar with. And then also being able to paste the text into an email so that it looks nice. And I want to have those type of files where they turn into the workflow as well. Because if you look at our open PRs, we actually have PRs that are about creating tests. So I'm going to drop this PR in here. It's a workflow file that starts out how we created a mock ticket. He's pushed a few too many things here, but if we go see what that creates against Kubernetes, the output of this org file and the workflow is not only the code, but the ticket to start the workflow and flowing through getting a submission to Kubernetes itself. And we have an org, is it org project 9? So here's the project. So all of our project stuff within the, what is this called? Within the conformance subproject. So that last board link I just sent, we start our triage board using these org file ticket created flows, and it allows us to sync together. If you look at the in progress ones, some of them have the 2 linked pull requests put together. I'll drop a link to one that has that real quick. It's kind of been developed just in our small ecosystem of needing to increase coverage in Kubernetes, but I think there are other SIGs and stuff that might find capturing the way that we work together well, so it can be improved by anyone. And just because we have our own workflow area where we iterate on different org files that flow in there. But anyway, it's definitely like a one-on-one thing at this point. I don't think it's because it's evolving, but I'd love to pair with any of you. And in the process of pairing, you're definitely making it so the person immediately can turn around and pair with someone else and do the same thing. We can call it pairing or mentoring, but it's I also call it co-mentoring. So there's not someone who's mentoring the other person, because I learn something every time I pair with someone, no matter their background. And they also learn from me in this new thing that you create, like keeping a culture of co-mentoring.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in pairing up for some of these issues.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at this a little bit more in depth. I like the idea here.
I'm glad that there's interest. It's been fun developing it within our team because we have a culture of pairing. So there's always 2 or more eyes on a shared screen using some teammate technology, which is a terminal sharing thing, and then across all the platforms. And we worked really hard to make sure it's really inclusive of every device. I actually have it running on my my Android device using Termux. So you can even do it on an Android.
The really cool thing about this, for anyone that has not seen the actual pairing for this in live, if you go to the YouTube playlist for San Diego's KubeCon and look at the unconference, you'll see Hippie actually do the notes for what he did to do this. I've actually saw it. It was pretty darn amazing. Awesome. Thank you very much, Hippie. Does anybody else have anything they wanted to talk about? Paris, did you have anything?
No, I'll talk to Hippie in chat.
Awesome. Well, if nobody else has anything, I will give everybody 30 minutes back of their lives on this beautiful Friday. And I will see everybody online.
Yay.
Cheers, all. Be safe.
Later, y'all.
Goodbye.